Hi, this is Thomas with Believe in the Run.
This is Robbe with Believe in the Run.
This is Megan with Believe in the Run.
Bonjour.
We picked up a lot of
French
culture
Merci.
over the last week.
Oui.
How do you say? I still didn't learn some basic stuff.
Okay, let's hear it. What's the question?
Sorry.
Sorry?
Je suis désolé.
Excusez-moi.
Wait, which one is it for real?
Je suis désolé. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Meg
but-
that's way too long.
No,
to say
but
sorry.
No, I think pardon. Like if you're saying
yeah.
excuse me.
Yeah,
excuse me,
yeah.
or
Yeah.
Pardon.
I did.
Excuse-moi.
I do that.
I think that would be the
It's
same
hard.
as sumimasen.
It's hard because you can't just put an A on the end of a word like with Spanish.
Yeah, I did notice that. Like they had
That's my
tobacco.
hack.
They had tobacco shops instead of tobacco shops.
Oh really?
I was like, is that what it's like for Spanish people to come to the U.S.? They're like, where's the O?
Yeah. Tobacco. Oh, by the way, apologies because my voice, for some reason, is still
Robbie got a little too rowdy when we were
At the
in
stadium.
Paris.
has still not rebounded from that was like the women's 4x100, I think.
And is that
The
when
final track
Is that
night,
when you disappeared?
Thursday
Is that when
or
you
Friday?
disappeared with
Yeah.
Kafuzi and went to the finish?
No, that was before that. So that was like the first race of the night, I think. No, I went to the 10,000. Yeah, I went down
10K.
the lower
Yeah.
level for the 10,000 meters.
Dude, I still can't believe we were there for the Cole Hawker win.
We weren't there.
That might be why I don't believe it.
Okay.
We definitely
was
watched
like,
that
wait,
in an
what?
airport.
Okay, and
On
then
the way there.
but we did see the women's 400.
Mm-hmm.
We saw Sydney break the world record. That was very cool.
Yeah. Should we should we do the preamble first
Yeah, I think so.
before we get into it?
Yeah, we can go through all this stuff.
What's the preamble? Like how we got there and stuff?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to get too into the weeds. I feel like people are like, I get it. You went somewhere. I
Yeah.
don't need to hear about the airport again.
Can I?
The airport was kind of exciting though because we
Actually-
were at the bar watching the 1500.
Yeah,
That actually was awesome.
and because none of us were racing, it was definitely a more relaxed environment. Like normally, we may not even have a cocktail or anything on the plane
Yeah, usually
or in the bar.
because we're going somewhere to run a marathon.
Well, and this was
Speaking of marathons, I have a little secret.
Okay. Wait.
Can I hand these out?
I don't care.
Okay, so CLA, Shelby from CLA to be exact, sent us Believe in the Run. We hope you are enjoying using these marathon-inspired caps from CLA during your upcoming races. We appreciate keeping CLA in mind.
Oh, okay.
And if CLA's on our head, they're definitely in our mind. And I figured out a way to divvy these up. Because
Okay.
we got 3 hats.
So this is like their marathon cap where they do it
Yeah.
for each city or whatever.
Yeah.
We've worn those before for a lot of our races.
So this year, I'll be at New York, but I'm only going to be cheering. We're going to be doing a cheer station.
Same
And so I felt like the New York one should go to Megan.
for
'Cause
sure.
I'll be out there running.
And it's her favorite color.
Black on black on black.
And I like that they did embroidery this time because like sometimes
yeah.
the other one, after a while.
Yeah.
Then Robbie, you're leading a group of people to a sub 4-hour marathon in Chicago.
I will be attempting to. Let's not put that in.
We've got backup for
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
for it, John Ober and stuff.
Which, by the way, if you are interested in joining our unofficial running group,
Yeah, how do people do that?
during the marathon that's aiming for a 4-hour time, DM me on Instagram,
Yeah.
and I'm starting
Robbie,
a
what
spread,
is your Instagram handle?
Normcore Runner. I'll put it in the description.
Okay.
But I'm putting together a spreadsheet of people with their email and addresses, names to let everyone know what's happening. So that's the best way to do that. Continue, Thomas.
All right, so you get the Chicago cap.
Oh, that's rad.
Yeah, I thought you'd like it because it kind of looks baseball inspired.
Yeah, I like
Sort of
that.
looks like a
definitely
Cubs hat.
I like that. That's cool.
And then I'm going to round it off with this beautiful Berlin hat.
Oh, nice. I like that.
Yeah, so, and this is the style that Megan likes now with this draw cord.
Uh-huh.
And I'm in talks with CLA to do a special Believe in the Run CLA cap.
Okay.
So we could have another one coming.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, people seem to love the CLA caps we did a while back. Those went really fast.
Yeah.
We haven't done anything since because it took a long time to get those done. I think now that we're past COVID times, might be able to get these made a little faster than in the past.
I dig it.
But yeah,
Nice.
We love
Well,
the
that's
CLA
cool.
caps.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so yeah, we were in the airport.
We flew to Detroit, weirdly. I'm not sure how that worked out, but
Yeah.
we were in
We
Detroit,
went backwards.
getting rowdy, screaming at the TV at the bar, because it was probably, I mean, that was one of the most exciting events of the whole Olympics.
the men's 1500.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Well,
if you guys would like to congratulate me on my pick of Cole Hawker, go ahead and do that now.
That's true.
Congratulations, Meg. Yeah.
I did not see that one coming.
I mean,
Okay.
that was so cool.
Inga Britson was out front the whole time. I'm like, I'm locked. I got Inga Britson. Kerr, I thought he's going to throw down. I got real nervous about Kerr towards the end.
Yeah.
Because Inga Britson started fading.
Yep.
But no, out of nowhere,
Just took that
Captain.
Inside lane, yeah.
Captain America.
I think Josh and Ingebrigtsen were so focused on each other
For sure.
that I don't even think they saw Cole coming.
Yep. Run your own race, man.
Yeah.
I believe that.
Run the distance,
Well,
not the opponent.
If you watch the replay, you can see Inga Britson lean out to keep
Yeah. To
in front of Kerr.
Yep.
And that's what left that inside lane open.
Yep. 100%.
But like, even so, like between him, Grant Fisher, some of the other ones where you're just like, how do they have, like, I never thought these guys had that second gear.
Well, and Nagus almost
Yeah,
won,
Nagus.
got silver. Just another half step, and he would have been in silver.
Yeah.
And then Hobbs Kessler also got fourth place, which he's like 21.
Yeah, it was amazing for the U.S. track and field for sure. Sorry, U.S. athletics. Got to use the Olympic terms.
Yeah, and Jacob, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
We're going American here.
Jacoby.
Yeah, he got his gold.
He won the
so it's all
5K,
good.
yeah, for 5,000.
I thought he actually handled it better than I thought he would.
Well, when you get served a slice of humble pie, you kind of
Yeah.
have to.
Yeah, but some people don't handle that well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, he did a good job.
I
Yep.
mean, I like it. I'm totally for it. I love the banter.
drama?
And
Yeah,
it's
me
great.
too.
It's more of that, please.
It's good for the sport.
All right, so are we going chronological order here?
Yeah, so we get into Charles de Gaulle, Paris on Wednesday morning at 6 a.m.
And we left on Tuesday
Yeah,
at
noon.
like noon.
So it was a long travel, but I think we all slept a little bit on the plane.
I did.
And
Yeah.
do we want to explain our initial travel woes, or we just skip past seeing the cow 6 times?
Yeah. It's as expected. There's always some hiccups. So we could just move on.
So we got in and immediately I think we all went for a run pretty much.
Yeah, or we tried to.
Yeah. I think so.
Yeah, I ended up ducking out. My hip wasn't quite right. Probably
right.
from sitting for, 24 hours or whatever that was.
Yeah. You're going to get dry needled, right?
I already set up the appointment. I have an
Okay.
appointment today to go. And then I also have a deep tissue massage on Thursday. So I'm doing everything like dry needling, massage.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah.
But I ran the last 2 days. And while it still is a problem, it's not unrunnable.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. Dude, I'm telling you, because we talked about this, and a lot of people on the podcast, or a few people commented last week that it's probably a, high hamstring tendinopathy or something along those lines, because that's what I had for like 2 years. You can run. You can definitely run, but it will torture you mentally for years if you don't.
Well, I'm doing everything I
know,
can.
and what you are, which is good.
And I also, like yesterday, I ran and then I did I got on the bike for 40 minutes. And
that's good.
Yeah. And then actually used the bike to, after I did the exercise bike, I used the bike to go to the office and check how the construction's going.
Yeah. That's good.
And then,
Yeah, let's not talk about
and
that.
then made it back. And it does, I think it's one of those things where being active actually helps it better than just being completely.
That's definitely true.
Yeah.
Just sitting on it actually makes it worse. Yeah. So
The whole flight home, though, I stuck a ball right in that butt joint and
okay.
sat on it.
So moving forward. So we got there, did our run, and it was pretty crowded.
Yeah.
Because we went straight to it was like a bee to a hive right into the busiest part of Paris, really.
Yeah, well, we figured it would be safe bet to run along the Seine. And it turns out everyone and their moms were walking along the Seine.
Also,
So-
the weather, though, we really lucked out. Like the week before, it was raining the whole time.
Yeah, and it was wasn't really hot but that weekend before that.
yeah,
Yeah.
we got some nice cool mornings. That was lovely.
No humidity, or at least low humidity. That which coming from Baltimore was quite a relief. Turns out you can run a lot faster.
Yeah,
I have to say, coming back to Baltimore, the last 2 mornings have been
it's been nice.
phenomenal.
Yeah,
Basically been the same
Yeah.
as it was in Paris.
but yeah. So that afternoon, after we got all our runs in, the ASICS team invited us to does it count as a boat? It's not. It doesn't move.
Maybe a barge.
Yeah, that's exactly what I think I would call it, a barge, stationary boat on the Seine.
Yeah.
So
Not really. It's weird because there's a bunch of these, and
Yeah.
I've never been to Paris or Amsterdam or anywhere, so I have no idea what they do there. But it's like multiple restaurants or businesses or things within a boat. Like there's even basements or whatever, like in the hall.
I don't think they're basements. I think you're below deck.
Below deck. I mean, I'm saying if it was like it's
A building.
It seems like a building, but it's and almost built out like one. But you're like, I'm on the water.
Here's what I thought was special about the boat. Val Allman was on the boat. And she had just come off her gold medal discus. And talk about like what a treat it was for us to be able to just, I don't know how you guys felt about it, but she's so humble and so
humble.
like just cool. And she's like passing around her medal so everybody can check it out. And I mean,
A little risky passing it to me. I would sell that on the secondary market.
Robbie's in the pin exchange. What do you give me for this? Someone told me the value of it, like based on just the medals, was over $1,000. But what did you think? Like, did you ever think in your life you'd be holding an Olympic gold medal?
Not from like the actual person who just won it.
Like maybe at a thrift store?
Yeah, like maybe, yeah, or like a pawn shop or something.
Yeah.
Which I wonder how many of those.
Well,
get
someone
pawned
said that Cassius Clay, before he became Muhammad Ali and he boxed for the Olympics, took his medals and threw them off a bridge. He was mad at the way the U.S. treated him coming back. So I'm wondering if anybody else, did somebody recover those?
Yeah, let's go magnet fishing wherever that bridge
Can you imagine
is.
what those would be worth?
Dude, for real. Anyways.
Yeah, so it was a pretty epic backdrop. We were like right in front of the Eiffel Tower, and it was just a beautiful evening. We celebrated our very own Carl's birthday and Andrew Kastor's.
Look at that big boy over there.
Yeah.
He's all
grown up.
Yeah.
Couldn't blow out his candle though.
And then they shipped us over to volleyball. And I have to say, this might have been one of my highlights from the trip.
Beach volleyball.
Yes, beach volleyball. I don't even follow volleyball. I don't know what countries we were going to see.
I think we saw Canada and...
The first was Canada. And yeah, who were they playing?
It was Brazil and Latvia, Canada, and... Why am I forgetting this now?
Was it Germany?
No, it was like a little country. Serbia?
Spain.
Was it Spain?
A little country.
Are you sure it was Spain?
It was definitely Spain.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because the environment there was just so much fun. They had like a DJ who would pump you up like in between every single break and just
Every point almost.
yeah.
And you're staring at where we were sitting.
Yeah.
You're looking at the Eiffel Tower
Yeah.
over top of the volleyball court. Like it was surreal. Isn't the word. Like it was crazy.
It was also like that was our first day. So like we had flown all night. We didn't really sleep much.
Got on a boat and started drinking.
It almost did feel like we were like in a dream or something because I don't know. It was crazy.
They played the Macarena and everybody was up dancing for that. They did some other songs.
They're like doing all these cheers and we're like, what is happening? But then we figured it out. For a spike or a block, Monster Block.
Yeah.
They do these
Monster block.
monster block, and people were like super into it.
And the wave went around like 3 times.
It felt like Happy Gilmore on the 18th green at Waterbury. Like the crowd was going nuts.
Yeah.
Everyone was. I was like, how are they playing during? I mean, they would get quiet during the points generally, but
I mean, and Canada ended up winning. I don't even know if they're known for beaches.
That was shocking.
Yeah, I don't think they are. But then Brazil looked ridiculous.
Yeah.
And they won the gold medal.
Crushed, yeah.
But that was very cool and very good vibes. It's interesting because you can't drink anywhere in the stadiums, but you can drink at the stadiums in between breaks and whatnot.
Yeah.
But you can't bring them in.
True.
It's like
Which was also weird when we got to the track. Well, we can talk about that later, but you could drink at the track, but not at the track.
Well, as soon as the event started, you couldn't drink.
Right. But then during between sets in volleyball, you could then go get a drink.
You could go.
Real quick, pound some wine or whatever and smoke your cigarette, which apparently Parisians love to do. And then go back to the game.
Yeah. It's pretty funny. I mean, I'm assuming they're doing that to keep people from getting too rowdy. But
yeah, dude, the craziest was like I'm so used to I remember smoking, out on the concourse at baseball stadiums, but it's been a decade since they've allowed that. They have like a little section like outside the stadium.
The shame section.
Yeah, but it was wild just walking out of the stands and just in the corridor there, just people smoking cigarettes. Dude, they're just allowed to do that.
You know what's weird? Okay, so when we went to Italy and there was Prosecco served at every meal and wine served at every meal, and there's plenty of food, cakes, cheeses, meats all the time, but people were relatively fit and didn't seem to affect them. I felt the same way with the cigarette smoke in Paris. Normally, it disgusts me. Like if I walk past someone smoking, I'm like, oh, this is gross.
Yeah.
In Paris, you're kind of like, oh.
Yeah. I mean, I think there should be a rule like if you're in another country.
It's kind of like the zip code.
Yeah.
Area code.
Yeah. You should be able to smoke and not feel guilty about it.
And not have any adverse health.
Yeah. But I think it's because you're generally in good shape. There's walking
so
and biking
walking,
everywhere.
Yeah.
It probably doesn't affect them as much, I would say. Like it's not like here where everyone's just smoking their cars and then they like go to
Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah, like
and sit.
there's just a little bit of a balance.
I was 100% shocked if you had told me there had been a bet where you could say, will Robbe and Carl have a cigarette while they're in Paris?
Yeah.
I would have lost money.
I probably would have lost money too, because I thought for sure at some point during this trip, I'm going to smoke a cigarette. Only because, dude, like when I was younger and, I like to write, you always have these like read about Hemingway or F. Scott Fitzgerald in Paris, like in these Parisian cafes, smoking cigarettes and talking about
Here's how I picture it. There's like a little cafe. There's a dude playing an accordion.
Yeah.
Robbie's sitting in the corner with his linen pants on.
Oh yeah, dude.
That's
how I pictured it too.
Yeah.
The only reason I didn't was because I'm too cheap to buy a whole pack of cigarettes, knowing I'm only going to smoke one or two, and B, no one offered me one, so that's the only reason why. And I didn't feel like bumming one off of people because I always hate when people bumped one off of me back in the day. But anyways, I succeeded.
Yeah,
we're still good.
Way to go.
So after volleyball, what did we do?
We meandered way back to the barge, we'll call it, and we decided we needed some more food. So then we walked along the Seine and found what turned out to be a lovely grilled cheese spot.
Yeah.
We ate some grilled cheeses.
I think
Drank some more wine.
Was it you who said you've become a grilled cheese person?
Grilled cheese, especially with ham on it, which I'm not really a big ham fan.
You went ham on ham?
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like grilled cheeses in Paris taste different. They're better.
I mean, yeah. Although I will say, thick butter bread with American cheese, it's like, there's something about, I like the fancy grilled cheese, but the real deal grilled cheese,
Okay, quick question for you on that.
Processed cheese.
Have you done the grilled cheese where instead of putting butter on the outside of the bread, you put mayonnaise?
I think I know that's like the hack to make it the best.
Wait, but why do you think that's gross, Meg? Because you like eggs. It's basically a fried egg on that
Just
I
oil and
outside.
egg.
guess.
Yeah.
I'm not a mayonnaise fan.
Yeah, I don't. But no, that is
Mayonnaise.
what's that movie with the dude that they make the best grilled cheese ever?
Oh, where he's like a chef?
Yeah,
Oh,
for
I
the
know
food
that one.
truck.
Yeah. Yeah, it's with
John
John Favreau.
Favre.
That
Like
was
saying the Louvre, but an actor's name.
Yeah, that was a good movie though. Yeah, I think it might have been called Food Truck.
It's something
Oh,
simple.
it's called chef.
Yeah, I was like, is it called cook or shit? Like, yeah, okay. That was a good one.
Yeah.
I think that's a precursor to the Bear. I don't think the Bear gets made without chef.
There's definitely some similarities.
Yeah.
I felt like the chef walked so the bear could run. It sounds like a kid's book or something.
I like that.
Anyways,
So yeah, we made one final stop back to the barge because they were playing some Britney Spears. We did some dancing and
some dancing.
plenty. Of,
I did not.
plenty of really bad dancing.
I'm standing on the dock at this point, ready to go because I thought
I was
everybody
also
left.
ready to
So
go.
what happened was we went down the stairs, and for all I knew, you, Meg, and Carl were right behind us.
Mm-hmm.
So Robbie and I get down to the dock, and we're like sitting there, and we're like waiting. And I look up, and I just see this little blonde hair bouncing up and down. I'm like, that's Megan.
Brittany came on. I don't know what you were expecting.
It was, what was it?
Hit me, baby, one more time. Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah. So anyway, then eventually we got an Uber and made our way home for the evening.
We had a Kasnoozy in the Uber.
We did.
Yeah. Kafuzi loves to just pass out wherever he is.
Even
Even at the Olympic Games, by the way.
Yeah,
Like,
he nodded off
On the
during
track.
during the track.
I will say I was almost in the same boat. I was like
I was tired.
pretty tiring at one point.
I kind of am envious of his ability to sleep.
What do you mean? You can sleep well all the time.
Not in the stadium.
I don't know if I want to
Not in a
Yeah, is that what
taxi.
you want, though?
In a taxi cab.
Yeah. Anyway, so then
The next morning we did a group run with our ASICS team and
The
everyone
retailers.
that they brought. Yeah. And it was a really fun run. We went under. Is that when we went under?
Arc de Triomphe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you were riding around on a bike. I don't even know how you found us because we kept disappearing under tunnels.
Yeah, I had to get tricky with my hip was not good, so I was like, I might as well take photos. So I hopped on a bike with the camera, followed you guys around, and they were like, you guys would go downstairs and or upstairs to get to a bridge, and I just had to find a way. But those power bikes,
the e-bikes.
those are fun.
Yeah. We were trying to lose you, but it didn't work.
No, you can't. I could smell you.
Yeah, that was a nice run. Same thing kind of went along the Seine, but another nice morning.
After we finished up with the run, and co-sister somehow had a connection to NBC, and so we got to go over and tour the NBC studio where it was actually really cool because you watch TV or something, you see the commentator sitting in front of the Eiffel Tower, and you're like, oh, you think it's fake or something like that, like it's just but they were actually sitting. Like there was a whole set built right in front of the Eiffel Tower. You remember when we were on the barge and you looked across and you're like, what is that? It looks like a whole NBC thing, or it looks like a whole Olympics thing.
Yeah.
That was the NBC studios. So we're over there getting that tour. We're seeing we got to see behind the scene. They had it blows your mind. Like you think of like how we can get stuff done with 4 people.
Yeah.
They have 100 people over there, and there's screens everywhere and people calling out camera angles and shots.
Yeah.
And it was just
Were they doing anything while you were there? Like shooting stuff? Okay.
and matter of fact, the main people were
Yeah.
already gone.
Oh.
Like-
Like Mike Tirico and them?
I think Mike Tirico was already there, but Savannah and Hoda
Hoda.
and those guys for the Today Show.
Oh, they were doing the Today Show from there?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah. I just remember when Matt Lauer was doing it from Sochi.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that was the beginning of the end from.
Because he had that like trap room or whatever.
He did. He had an
Did he?
escape room. He had like a button in his desk that would lock the
That
door.
locked the door.
Oh no. Okay.
Forgot about that guy.
Like, how do you explain that to someone? Like, all right, I don't want to get up and have to lock the door. Could you somehow put something in my desk where
how do you
I
get
can,
some?
like, and somebody isn't like, that's a weird request there.
Yeah, what would it, I guess you could justify it, be like, I'm just scared of a
Sometimes.
shooter or something coming in. Like,
Oh, I like
and
that.
then
That's a good
I want to
one.
lock the door quickly.
Or I'm on the phone and I just want privacy. I don't have to get up.
I'm that lazy that
Yeah, can't cross the room.
dude, buttons for everything. Yeah.
I'd also like something that a bed shoots out.
Now that I think about it, maybe I would like that for my house. Just when you're in bed at night, being like, did I lock the door?
You get an app and you can just look at your thing, whether or not it's closed. You have the same lock
Yeah,
on yours.
I
as
know.
mine, yeah.
But if I didn't have that,
You actually do have a button. It's on your phone.
Oh jeez.
yeah,
See, Matt, you could have just got.
yeah, they wouldn't have to. It would just seem normal.
Anyway.
All right, first check-in. The thing that I think made the biggest impression on me about the Olympics was not counting yourself out. The stats, the numbers, everything might be telling you, hey, it's time to hang it up or you're not going to win or whatever. But there's something about the human spirit that changes all that stuff. And when we see people like Cole Hawker come in, and he was believing in himself more than maybe we were, and he comes in and he rips off a performance of a lifetime. I mean, it's got to be all heart, right?
Okay, Thomas, let's talk about our sponsor, LMNT.
I'm so addicted to this stuff. I don't know how it happened. When I first started drinking, I was like, it's too salty. And now I can't get enough of it.
Yeah, so they now have LMNT Sparkling, which comes in cans. It's the same zero sugar electrolyte formula that was in the powder, but now it comes in a can with bubbles.
And we've been doing that before they even had the cans. We started mixing the powders with like seltzer.
Yeah, and it's perfect during the summer when the temps are rising, you're sweating more, you need to replenish those electrolytes, especially sodium, which LMNT is known for having a bunch of. So our listeners can get a free LMNT sample pack with the purchase of any mix order. Just go to drinkelement.com/thedrop. After that tour that you did, we did not go with you. We went to the ASICS house, which we hadn't been to yet. And it was a very cool setup.
Wait,
it
that was the same
6
day?
stories.
Yeah,
Where we went and interviewed Clayton's wife, Ashley.
Yeah. Which is already out, right?
No,
It's not already out. When's that out?
I need the files from our guy Carl over there. That'll be the next Fuel for the Soul podcast, which will come out on the 27th of
Okay.
August.
I will tell you this. She was lovely. And
Yes.
I thought when we talked to Clayton, he would be very similar disposition. Clayton's a little edgier than I was expecting.
in what way?
Yeah.
Like he was a little, like we said something, he was like, and he came back with like a snarky, like,
Well, we were trying to get Ashley to give us some dirt on Clayton,
Yeah.
and she couldn't because she was like, like
it turned
he's-
into a compliment.
Yeah.
He's so good at this that it gets annoying.
Yeah,
That kind of thing.
And then we asked him where we told him that. And then what was his response? I feel like that's what you're referring to.
He made like a mean joke about himself.
Yeah, I don't remember what it was.
Yeah, I remember what it was, but I'm not going to say it.
Okay.
okay, interesting.
So yeah, that was a very fun interview. Again, that'll be out on the 27th. And then we had some happy hour with the ASICS crew. And then we went to our first night of track
Wait, where was the happy hour? Was that in that like?
in the ASICS house on the 5th floor.
Yeah, we
or
did like a
whatever.
little panel talk.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I didn't know that was a happy hour. I didn't drink.
Well, they had beer and wine and snacks.
Yeah.
I think that's a happy
I
hour.
think I took water that I thought was like an individual person's water, and it turns out that it was like a table's water. So I'm walking around with like a
jug.
And Mac's like, "Yeah, help yourself."
Well, that's a problem with Paris or France is that all their cups are shot glasses. So to get hydrated is like the big, it's
Yeah.
like the opposite of Colorado.
Yeah.
Like there you carry around 32-ounce jugs everywhere. Here you carry around shot glasses, hoping there's water somewhere.
Yeah, I think I refilled my water in the morning at breakfast like 45 times.
I drank like the least amount of water in my whole life there, which like seriously, I don't even. There's like for
Every-
hours, like 5 hours. I would not
Every
have any
night I
water.
woke up with like leg cramps.
Yeah.
But I was like, that's the thing. I felt like I was hydrating. So I don't understand that.
Oh,
Well, they gave you that box of water in your room every day. That was nice.
yeah. I think sometimes I forgot to take the do not disturb sign off my door, and they didn't get replaced.
You know what's nice? They just left a bag with
Yeah.
2 box waters
we did
on our
that.
doorknob.
Well, I
The
didn't
one
have
day
that.
that we did the do not disturb, they brought up waters.
My maid did not make our day. Yeah, it was like,
So
water, trash cans were hard to find.
I liked our
Yeah.
hotel. We stayed at the M Social, and it had a great breakfast every morning. We really did up it had a coffee machine, and I swear we probably hit that thing like 3 or 4 times before we left the breakfast.
Yeah.
You got to.
That's
Eat
the
like
thing.
a loaf of bread and like cheese and
But
all
the-
sorts of stuff.
The crazy thing is with the coffee, I don't feel like when you go to those machines that make you a cappuccino or something like that.
Doesn't hit the same.
It's
Okay.
And also I miss like a big cup.
Like a big Starbucks latte
Interesting.
coffee.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I never know how that stuff affects me.
I just wanted more liquid. Like again, that's tiny cup, little espresso.
Yeah. The men's basketball team was staying in the hotel next to us, which I didn't see. There's like people standing outside the doors all day long. Trying to capture a glimpse of Kevin Durant or whoever.
Like that was odd to me.
Yeah.
I guess that's how big basketball is though. It's like if they come to that country, when are they going to have another opportunity to see somebody?
My favorite part though was the entrance to the hotel, they had fences so that people couldn't get too close, but then they'd allow us to walk by
Because you're not allowed
past
to
the fences.
Because you're not allowed to close the sidewalk off.
Yeah.
So you could just walk. That's why I was like, why don't these people just walk
That's
back and
what I was
forth
saying,
in front of the
yeah.
entrance?
or walk into the hotel.
Yeah.
I have a feeling they rented that hotel out. Like I don't think anyone else was staying there.
Yeah. And some Dirk Nowitzki, former Maverick star, he was staying in our hotel.
I saw him too.
Yeah, we both saw him walking in person.
We saw him having cocktails and watching the women's final. I think it was.
Did he fit into that elevator in our hotel?
There's no way. He looked like a science experiment gone wrong.
The elevators were
gone
shoe
right.
boxes.
Yeah, maybe.
I got annoyed when people would get on because I'm like,
You're gonna have to be real close.
I'm used to like kind of the American version of space between people, which is probably a good 1.5 feet.
Yeah.
And these people, they'll get right up in
It'll
your
sit in your lap.
Yeah.
You're not even sitting down. They're somehow sit on your lap.
Yeah.
But anyways, that was all cool. And then we went to the first night of
Track.
the athletics.
Well, first we went to that bougie
Hospitality.
VIP section where you got to hold the torch.
Yeah. Or like
People
grip
said-
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mike said you were doing it right.
What does that even mean?
You know what it means.
If you're running with the torch, you would hold on to it
That's probably what he means.
as if you're running with it.
That's probably what
Yeah,
he means.
that's
Okay,
not at all
whatever.
what he meant.
Anyway, the best thing about that place was the vanilla bean eclairs.
Yeah.
I've
I'm
never
not
had
even an
one.
eclair person, but that was delicious.
I think I had 3 of them.
Yeah, so the hospitality basically had like chefs and bartenders, and they were making little appetizers and handing out wine and beer. So that's when you were allowed to drink. And then as soon as the event started, that place shut down and we went into the stadium.
I think there's a time and a place for everything though. Like in the US, if we had a place like that, it would have like chicken wings, nachos, and
Gross food.
no, like I kind of would have preferred that over like the 3 Swedish meatballs with a carrot puree over to the top.
Yeah.
No, that's
you're not
so
wrong.
much better.
You're not wrong.
No, I was like, dude, give me some chicken fingers and some nachos.
Dude,
You guys are the
I
problem.
would smash some chicken tenders for sure.
Right?
there.
Well, so we
chicken
also
tenders are hard to come by.
we also didn't eat like full dinners several of the nights, so I feel like we never really had a meal. So I understand wanting something a little bit more.
That's how the
substantial.
French stay so thin. There's like very small bites
Just
and
wine.
liquor.
Yeah. So then, and then inside the stadium, it was pretty cool, obviously, because we
Yeah.
got there. They're doing the medal ceremonies from the night before.
I love
And
the purple track.
the
It
purple.
was cool.
I've heard it was like there's debate about what color it was. I thought
Lilac?
it was purple too.
What are people saying it is?
It was, some people were like, it was blue.
Those people are colorblind.
Maybe I thought it was blue.
Don't trust Coke
I was
because
going to
he
say, if
is
you're
actually
talking to
colorblind.
Kafuzi, he's legit
Oh yeah,
colorblind.
periwinkle. I think it's
Periwinkle. I would go, but periwinkle is a form of purple.
bluish purple.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Pale.
I'll meet you in the middle.
Like lilac.
yeah.
Okay, so we're all agreeing.
What's the difference between lilac and periwinkle? One just sounds more.
It's the difference between an art school education and just saying, hey, you got light purple, dark purple,
Yeah,
medium purple.
I'm gonna look it up. And then
And the first night is when we watched Sydney break the world record, right?
Yeah.
No,
Do I have that right?
no, I think that was
Yeah.
the second night.
Oh, geez. I don't know. Everything kind of blends together at this point, but it was a very fun evening.
We saw
And-
Noah Lyles win the 200 the first night.
Did not win the 200.
Yeah, he didn't win the 100. He
No,
got
we did win the 100.
Gonna cut this
Oh,
out.
yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, backwards. I got it backwards.
And we
he
were-
won the 100 that night, and then we were there the next night when he ran the 200.
No, we weren't
weren't
there
there
when he
when
won
he
the
won the
100.
I swear I was watching him and Cole Hawker.
Thomas was somehow in France when we weren't, or something.
Yeah.
Baby,
Do you want to scratch that?
I don't care. Leave it in. The TV coverage was so good.
Yeah, no, we were there when he came because we were there on his COVID night when he
Yeah.
got third place
Right.
in the 200.
He came out like a rocket, though.
Yeah. And then, but that, I'm pretty sure that was the same night Sydney won.
That's what I thought.
It definitely was. I know
Yeah.
it was.
Which night?
The first night, which was Thursday for us.
Yeah, that she broke the
August 8th.
her own world record. Yeah, Thursday, August 8th. And Anna Cockrell came in second.
Yeah, so that was our first experience at the Olympic Athletics, and it was super, super cool.
The stadium was insane.
Yeah. So the next morning was our group run with Kafuzi and Sidious Mag and all the ASICS team. And we didn't really know what to expect, like if people were going to show up or not. And we also last minute changed the location. So
Yeah.
we weren't doing ourselves any favors.
Apologies to
anybody who
whoever
showed up.
to the original spot, which I know there were people who did.
Yeah. I tried to do, I woke up in the middle of the night being like, this is going to be a disaster. But I ended up putting out a post and two stories, different stories. And I was tried my best, but
It was,
the turnout was actually pretty damn good.
yeah.
Yeah, a lot of big names
great.
showed up too.
Yeah, we did have some stars.
Yeah, that was really fun. Do you want to name drop anyone?
Aisha Prout-Lear. We had,
Bex Gentry,
Bex.
Emily Abate.
Yes.
Obviously Dena Kastor, which
Yeah.
who we haven't even mentioned yet.
Oh
I
my
think,
gosh,
'cause
yeah.
she's been, it's almost like
She was our
part of
buddy,
the-
yeah.
part of the crew. Yeah, she was there for everything.
Yeah.
All our runs, all the Olympic nights, all that. Her and
Yeah.
her family.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, Kastor on the last night stayed out and partied with
Her
us.
husband,
Yeah.
your coach. Yeah.
Stayed out and partied with us until way too late.
Yeah. Well, on the one ride home, the one Uber home, I was with them. It was just them and me in the Uber, and I think the ASICS North American CEO or something. And I was asking them if they ever eat fast food, and they said, "Oh, they're like, yeah, like In-N-Out." I'm like, okay, is technically fast food, but I was like, what about fried chicken? Because their daughter was asking about going to eat at these different places. There's a lot of those chicken places around there, and they don't go to. They're pretty healthy, so I'm like, okay, listen up. If you need some advice on what fried chicken places to go to, talking to their daughter, I was like, just ask me. And you really need to maybe check out some Popeyes, some Zaxby's if you're on the East Coast.
I'm sure the casters loved this.
Yeah, I don't think. I think they were pretty grossed out. But I'm like, if you, it's the same thing as if you don't let your kid watch TV or movies growing up.
They're going to do it later.
When she gets older, she's going to be a fried chicken connoisseur.
I don't
She's gonna
think
be
there's
working for
anything wrong with
Tyson.
that.
She's gonna be CEO of Tyson.
Now you're making me
Foods.
want fried chicken.
I know.
Earlier, I was like, I'm going to have a grilled cheese for lunch.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, fried chicken could be good.
So I was trying to do my best to introduce her to some of the culinary delights of the U.S.
Well, it's interesting you brought her up because after our shakeout run, which was amazing and fun, and we ended up doing like 3 miles along the river. We had to get kind of creative because at one point it got blocked off, but it was really fun. Anyway, afterwards we interviewed Andrew and Dena for
Back
the
at
Drop
the
podcast.
ASICS house.
Yeah, and that's out now. It was our Monday of this week's podcast. But they're just two of the most lovely humans. Like they're just so down to earth. Even though they don't eat fast food, Robbie still would consider them down to earth.
That's all right. Yeah. I mean, Dena's legitimately hilarious.
Yes,
Like,
she's so funny.
she's really funny. There's not a lot of runners who have good personalities. Sorry, everyone. No,
Meanwhile, we're trying to get more people on the podcast.
it's like, I'm just kidding. But you know what I mean? Like, it's like hard to find people who are real, just like
Her
themselves
energy
and
level
original.
too is
Yeah.
insane. Like she's got tons of energy. You can see why she was able to get a bronze medal.
And she's like the most positive person in the world. Like she could take any scenario and spin it into a situation that sounds great. Like it could be like, oh, our flight was. Andrew told me a story the other day of how they were leaving Florida to go to Akron, Ohio to see his family.
Right.
And their flight was canceled. They had to rent a car. The car tire blew. They had to go find another car in the middle of their drive.
They
which
drove like 18.
which was 18 hours. And it sounded like she was like, oh, this is fine.
Yeah, I know.
Like,
It's wild.
What are you gonna do? You got to get there.
Because she had to be at a race like that she was promoting.
No, I
or
think it
something.
was her parents' anniversary or his parents'
Yeah.
anniversary.
this was like very recent.
This might have been a
Oh,
different one because she.
This one was they were driving from Florida to Ohio
Yeah.
to be there for Andrew's parents'
Parents'
anniversary
30th anniversary
Okay.
or
or
something.
50th, I think.
Or something crazy.
All right.
But either way, yeah, she's just like in every scenario, it's like, well, this is okay. We'll figure it out. It'll be great.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
It's good energy to be around.
my life would be over with an 18-hour drive. I'd just be like, it's done.
You would just sleep and I'd
That's
drive
like-
all 18 hours.
That'd be like crossing the Atlantic on the Mayflower.
Yeah, you definitely would have gotten scurvy.
Okay, so after this interview, we had a little bit of downtime. You guys went to Satisfy.
Yeah, we went to visit Satisfy, which was a fun trip because I hadn't been on the metro yet. So I got to go on the metro. We ended up, I liked Satisfy, but we found a toy store.
Oh.
It was over there that had like all the toys from my childhood. Like it was like a vintage toy store.
It was pretty cool because I saw, yeah, it's interesting when you see something like that and you see a toy and it's like, dude, like it brings back a whole memory and you're like, I would have never dredged that up had I not seen that toy.
The Micronauts. I was like, almost forgot about Micronauts and I saw it and it took me right back to my toy box. I was like, zoom.
Yeah, that's crazy. Dude, think about that. All that stuff is in there, and it's just you can't tap into that. Like you can never in a million years just like conjure that up, but if you see something, it brings it right out.
That's
Weird.
like on your iPhone, you probably have tons of photos
Yeah,
that you don't think about. And then you go back and like the other day I pulled one up where Megan is walking with both the boys' hands and Theo's now 6'2", 6'3".
Mm-hmm.
Then he was like below her like chest and Henry was like almost as big as her hip.
right.
And I was like, holy cow. So I ended up just sending it over to Meg being like, do you remember this?
Yeah. And did you? Probably
Uh,
not. It's probably just random.
No, it was in Florida, wasn't it? Yeah, I remembered that trip.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. I'm reading a book on memory right now, so maybe that'll help things. But you know, like the whole like memory palace hacks where it's like there's a belief that everybody can remember kind of everything. You just have to learn how to hack it. So it's like the memory palace is you assign, like if you want to remember something, whether that's a time or a place or a person or someone's name, you just attach them. Like a lot of people do it in their own house. So they'll walk around and like see things on the wall. And like when they try to remember next time, they can come back through their front door and like attach all these things to it, and it works really well. Like a
Dude, I don't remember anything.
yeah, but that's what I mean. You have to employ these methods to like do it, and it works like the memory championships and stuff. People who can memorize a whole order of a deck of cards in 45 seconds.
So what are those people with photographic memories?
It's actually, so the photographic memory thing is actually not true. Apparently.
So how does someone read something?
They
and then-
just employ those same methods, but they do it intuitively.
What about the lady that there's like an actress, I forget, but she can name like what you were wearing the day that she first met you.
So the idea is that they use that kind of method. They just do it like intuitively.
Automatically,
Yeah,
yeah.
so they don't have to learn it. But the point is that pretty
It's
much anyone
possible.
can learn. Because this guy that wrote this book, the book is called Moonwalking with Einstein. But the guy that wrote the book, he ended up just starting from scratch and ended up being in the memory championships just over the course of a year of testing out.
Do you know who remembers everything?
Elephants.
No, Megan. Like if I did something bad or something.
That's a whole different thing. Yeah.
I don't remember anything.
We'll get in an argument or something, and you will be able to be like, "You said this," and I'll be like, "Ah, shit, I did."
But so the trick of if you meet someone and repeating their name, like never works, you know? So, but you have to attach it to like a mental image of, you know, something that rhymes with their name. So it can like trigger that thing.
I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah.
What about alliteration? So I'm like Robbie Raccoon.
That helps. So it'd be
probably
better.
think of a
It'd be
raccoon.
better to think of that raccoon or me wearing a raccoon hat, like a Davy Crockett hat. So next time you see me, you're like,
Could you do that for me so I'll remember you?
yeah.
All right.
Anyways,
So this was by far one of my favorite days there. So we started out with that group run with everyone, which was super fun. We got to chat with Dena and Andrew, and then we went to a wine tasting hosted by Dena at Eau Chateau, and we were celebrating her 20th anniversary of winning bronze in the Olympics.
And that was in Athens.
yes.
Yes. So it was really cool just to, first of all, be there to celebrate her, but then also the wine was very good.
The wine was good, but we got stuck at the kids' table.
We
They did a
did.
whole presentation, and even like the CEO of ASICS was there for it with his wife and everything.
And it was in this very beautiful, fancy wine cellar room, and there was all these name tags, and it was absolutely beautiful.
And she got presented with a nice keepsake
Yeah.
to celebrate her win.
I didn't even know any of this.
Yeah,
went
a
on.
whole, and she gave a speech. Meanwhile, we're out in
We got our own room that was meant for
the riffraff.
the kids that shouldn't be allowed in fancy places, which honestly I
was okay
love.
with.
I prefer. Even when I was an adult at like a Thanksgiving, if I got stuck at the kids' table, I was like, all right, this is good.
We had our
conversations
we
usually
had our
better.
own cheese board, our own charcuterie board. We had it was
Okay,
lovely.
You talk about weird things though. So we're over there, and we're sitting next to a lady, and she's like, "Oh, I'm from Baltimore," and we're like, "Oh, cool." I said, "What do you do there?" And she goes, "Well, I work at Morgan Stanley." And I was like, "Oh, we have a friend who works there, who runs with us. He's one of the fastest bastards." She's like, "Oh, who's that?" And I'm like, "Dave," and I gave the last name, but and she's like, "Oh, that's my boss."
Yeah.
Well, actually, that's my boss's boss. So he's like, I was like, "Holy cow!"
Yeah.
Such a small world.
All the way in Paris.
Then meanwhile, the whole time I was just trying to take a nap somewhere, and there's like no
Yeah, Robbie was losing it.
viable nap places around me. There were some pillows, and I was like, if I could figure out a way to hide somewhere, lay just at 5 minutes. That's all I needed.
And it was nice and cool.
Yeah, but I knew that we were getting a Uber over to the stadium right after that, so I was like, if I could catch the front seat, I'll just sleep on the way, which is what I did.
Do you know that one bottle of red wine was delicious? It's how much was it, Meg?
$110.
And what it had some special ranking of like 4 or something that's like very
on
rare.
my little wine app, it was like 4.2, which is like very high.
Sweet berry wine.
Yeah, it was good.
It was very good.
Yep.
So yeah, we ended. Go ahead.
I kind of wish we had purchased a bottle.
I regret it now. I don't know why I didn't do it. I thought it was gonna be too hard to bring home. Then I worried it was gonna break. Should have just done
Probably.
it.
Canton Wine and Liquors.
yeah.
I don't think they have that.
Oh yes, we have your.
But then we went off to our second night of athletics, which was the women's 10K. That was the main event.
Yeah, women's
400s?
4x100
Yes.
which was, dude, that's where I was yelling because
That's why your voice sounds like it does.
they were behind and then Sha'Carri Richardson pulled it out in the last 100.
I watched that video of her where she turns and looks at her competitor and then probably 1,000 times.
I don't think I saw that one.
She does
gosh,
a
Robbie.
right angle looks over, and then just takes off.
It's the best video.
Dude, that was exciting
Yeah.
because, I mean, yeah, she just came back within the that last 100 meters, and it was awesome. And then there was like long jumping going on and triple jumping.
Okay.
I think it was triple jumping.
I have to say, there's too much going on at the same time sometimes for me with
Too much
ADHD.
ADHD, yeah.
There was because there was a javelin toss going on, which, by the way, this came up, and I love that the Olympics is literally just forms of battle that they turned into like.
Shot put was cannonballs.
Yeah, they just turned into a thing that everyone in the world comes to watch now. It's like, how good are you at killing other people, but not actually killing people? Let's make a whole event around it.
How about breakdance?
Well, oh, geez. Did you see that lady, by the way?
No longer a sport thanks to her.
Yeah. Did you hear LA cancel, or maybe not cancel, but is not going to have breakdancing?
They're not going to have it anymore.
I mean,
It's an insult. I mean, I'd say it's an insult to breakdancers because they are athletic, the good ones.
Yeah.
And she shouldn't have even been there.
Well, the weird thing was, I thought maybe it was a joke, like they didn't have anybody to send, so she was like, "I'll go and dance around." But
dumb.
she actually has a doctorate
in BS.
in breakdancing.
That's a
No, in
thing.
body movement. This is stupid. It's stupid that this is even a thing.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm.
Are you
very bitter
noticing
about
that-
it because it's just
Have you seen on
insulting.
Instagram where they have all these people who have these new degrees that are just like, you're like,
Useless.
what are you going to possibly do?
Well,
do with that?
yeah. If you go to a liberal arts school and get a major in, films with gnomes or whatever,
Yeah.
then
Hairstyles
you're probably not gonna.
hairstyles through the century.
Yeah.
Dude, this video is crazy, though.
Right? How good is it? I can't stop watching it.
Yeah, it's pretty rad.
Yeah.
I will tell you this, the weird thing looking at it and seeing it at the stadium, and these are the best of the best in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Like how she can be so still on the upper, it's like a duck,
Yeah.
it's like, and those legs are just churning, and I'm like, I don't even know. Like, I wonder what it feels like to be able to turn your legs over that quick.
Yeah, seriously.
I'll never
Like,
know.
would one of mine fall
I
off?
do wonder.
And wondering is all we want.
Second, check-in. Another thing coming out of the Olympics was just seeing how peaceful the world can be when we're all focused on something positive. So when we turn off the news and we turn off the politics and turn off everything else, and we just focus on the outstanding capabilities of the human, I mean, everything else melts away. So instead of looking for what divides us or separates us, maybe we should all be looking at what brings us together. And nothing brings us together better than running. I think that Eliud Kipchoge said one time, if everybody ran, there'd be no war. I don't know if he said that. I might be paraphrasing. But that's the fact. Like, if we all just got together for group runs, maybe we could solve a lot of problems. Meg, I've been sleeping like a champ.
Is it because you have a lovely Lagoon pillow?
That and melatonin edibles.
Melatonin and edibles?
Oh.
Or
Gummies. Yeah, but the pair is unbeatable.
Yeah.
So Lagoon is again a sponsor of this podcast this week. You can go to lagoonsleep.com/believe to check out all of their pillows and to take their quiz. It's very easy. You just have to explain your sleeping preferences and it populates the perfect pillow for you.
Dude, I think Lagoon should put together like a giant pillow fight. Like, and maybe you win a Lagoon pillow.
How do you win a pillow fight?
Sounds like
You come out on top.
Sounds like my 13-year-old self's dream.
How do you win a pillow fight? Like, could you
No
have
one really
scoring?
has pillow fights. That's never been a thing.
I bet you could have scoring. Like if it's 2-man in, like Robbie and I line
Knock
up
out to
against
the
each other,
face.
Oh,
like the
man.
most hits to the
Yeah.
like clean hits to the
CTE
noggin.
on deck. Yeah. All right.
See, I didn't even know what CTE is, so I had to look it up. But if you had it, the pillow sure would help.
Yeah.
And if you want the perfect pillow to slap someone in the face with, again, go to lagoonsleep.com/believe. Use the code BELIEVE for 15% off your first purchase.
Make sure they took the quiz first so you know which pillow to smack them with.
And then the Quincy Hall for the men's 400. Did you see that one when he came back?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he did look like he was working for every inch of that.
Yeah.
I mean, I was like, there's no way. And because the other runners did look pretty, like they had
Steady,
it, and then he just willed that to happen. I was like, dude, that was legit.
Yeah, that was insane. Just think about also, like, we think about him winning, and that's thrilling. Mm-hmm. But if you're that guy and you're like, I got this.
Because I feel like the guy who got second, like if he knew he
could have just
he could have dug deep, he could have churned it out, but you didn't. He just thought he had it.
Well, it was the same thing with the Cole Hawker thing. Like he just dug in extra deep going, I think I can take this.
Yeah.
And those guys weren't paying attention.
Speaking about digging extra deep, I mean, I don't know if you're ready to move on to the women's marathon, but
We can't skip over the men's.
I mean, yeah, true.
Before we go to our
can we?
last
We
day,
can.
Saturday, though,
Wait.
can you guys try these?
I want
Okay.
the chocolate peanut butter cup.
There's like a bunch of different kinds. So this company,
that
Verb, sent us caffeinated
Chocolate chip
bars.
peanut
They're energy bars and protein bars. So
This
the
is-
big ones are protein, the small ones are energy bars.
And they have caffeine.
They have an equivalent of one shot of espresso.
Oh, jeez.
Dude, all these flavors sound good, so it's
So
hard
just
for me
open
to
them. I have a
choose.
ton of boxes.
it
Just
look-
taste them.
Oh, okay.
It looks appetizing.
I want to try this birthday cake
Mm.
one.
You want to bite of this one?
Yeah.
I always like chocolate chip cookie dough. Why are some of them bigger than other ones?
Those are the protein versus the energy bars.
I want to try protein one too. Is birthday cake make?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I'll do the protein.
You know what though? You know how when you have a Morton, when you have a caffeine one, it's got that little bit of bitterness.
Uh-huh. Well, so the caffeine's supposed to come from green tea.
Oh, is it?
Dude, this is actually pretty good. I'm not a big fan of protein bars.
Which one did you get?
The oatmeal chocolate chip.
Yeah, I mean, every flavor I've had is pretty good.
You want to try chocolate chip peanut butter?
I think I tried that.
I mean, it does
No,
have.
there's a different one.
No,
It's a protein.
that's what I
It
had.
has 9 grams. Is 9 grams of added sugars a lot? Is that
That's fine.
okay? I guess after a
The
workout,
thing is, 10 grams of protein is not a lot.
a ton. Yeah.
You need like if you're sitting down for a meal. So this is just a snack, obviously, but you need close to like 30.
So where did this come from?
The company just reached out, wanted us to try them. We might have their CEO or founder or someone on the podcast.
All right.
Honestly, I would eat this. Mm-hmm. It's pretty good.
You got
Pretty good.
boxes and boxes.
Yeah,
You and the kids can get all
I'll send you
jacked
home
up.
with some.
Watch the boys get into it.
Yeah, pack that in their lunch with a can of Mountain Dew. See what happens.
We got a Mountain Dew in the fridge. I was like, where'd this come from? I guess your mom got the boys.
No way.
Mountain Dew.
Nice. Grandma coming through.
Yeah.
Like that.
The
does
boys
that.
love her.
Okay, so anyway, last track night. The next morning, Saturday morning, is the men's marathon, and ASICS rented out a restaurant. Do you remember the name of it?
No, but I made a big mistake.
Oh, Bianca.
I ate breakfast at the hotel, which is good. But the layout that they had
We
there,
forgot that they were going to have breakfast.
and it was deluxe. There
It was
was
nice.
pizza, pasta, eggs. Help me out here.
Tiramisu.
Oh, there was tiramisu. there?
Obviously, meats and cheeses.
There was like chocolate muffins, not the chocolate muffins from Olympic Village, but little chocolate muffins.
That just the layout was insane.
Yeah, it was lovely. And so that was right along the 2K mark of the marathon. So we saw the team very, very early. They were still in a huge pack when they ran by us. And then there was a big TV in the back, so we got to watch the rest of the race from in there.
Yeah, you actually watched it. You ended up pulling it up on your phone.
I really wanted the American commentary because it's really hard to know what's happening unless you get some of that commentary from.
Yeah, because it was a French commentary on the TV.
Yeah.
But I thought it was funny. One time we watched the Berlin Marathon or whatever, and the feed that we had just had no commentary. Mm-hmm. And so we're just sitting there, and you're like,
cool. Yeah, so I ended up going out. It's funny because, we're in Paris for this marathon, and we're watching it on our little phones at a cafe just to hear what's going on.
Yeah.
But it was really fun.
like they
Andrew.
literally 2K, because they were at the 2K mark, they basically flew by us right at the beginning.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's only the men's. There's how many people would you say that was? Maybe
40?
Yeah.
And so it was
you keep thinking it's going to be like a major marathon.
Right.
You're like, okay,
They're
where's the next
gone.
group? Oh, it's over.
Oh, 10 seconds. Okay.
and I have to say the course looked horrible.
Yeah, it looked really brutal.
Dude, that hill.
The hill
looks
climbing
bad on
18.
TV.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like you try to tell people, like, have you ever been like skiing or something? You're like, this is really steep, and you take a picture of it, and it looks flat.
Yeah.
This hill,
You could tell.
looked like a hill on TV. And then I saw the people that did that, where you could run it that night,
The masses.
the masses, and like I didn't see anybody running
Not
up
a
that
single
hill.
person ran it.
Yeah, there's no way.
But it was also cool to watch because both Dena and Andrew and Piper, their daughter, were there. So every once in a while, Andrew would like add in some of his context, which was just really fun to be around while,
Expert
while
commentary.
we were watching. Yeah.
By the way, what did you think about the solar dish that Kipchoge had on his head?
Oh, the headband, the Amias.
Dude, I don't know. That stuff is so lame to me.
No, I want one.
It might be
I
like
need
I think
one.
it's like a swamp cooler for your head.
Dude, if the podium's wearing it, it's working.
Yeah, clearly. Like the copper bracelets and the what else? The
The fitting necklaces with the titanium in it.
the tape and the compression socks and the
Yeah, remember the wind tape?
what was the wind tape again?
Like Galen Rupp and Kipchoge were wearing that tape that had like little flaps that went in a certain direction that were supposed to make you faster.
So the Omius headband is sold out on the feed already.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
How many are we going to see in the fall?
Oh, dude. And when we see, I have to say, I don't know. Unless I get one and it works, and I see these guys lining up at Berlin, and there's all these dudes with those disco balls on their forehead.
I mean, I will say there is a gap where I don't understand how there isn't a better cooling method than putting ice in a hat, like for your head.
This is it.
So I do get that.
Is it? Do you know how a swamp cooler works?
I don't know. I don't think so.
So swamp cooler, they take cold water, and then they blow air over the top of it.
Yeah.
And some people, that's how they refrigerate their house or get air conditioning in their house.
Okay.
So if you look up a swamp cooler, to me, this is basically a swamp cooler. So you sweat into the headband, and then as the breeze goes by your head, it cools you off.
Yeah.
But the little squares, I guess it's trapping your sweat in those.
I don't know. It looks like something they would wear in Mad Max.
Or just something that like wasn't finished.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is if the people at Amius Headband want to send us one, I am very willing to test it out.
Yeah. 'Cause it's $260.
Yeah.
We're not trying to spend that.
I can't wait to see Megan running through the neighborhood with her Omnius on.
I love that when
I'll rock that.
I'm
in
taking
Baltimore.
pictures. I'm taking so many pictures.
I love that
And
when-
you're not going to be able to say, no, you can't post that.
Yeah, you got to post that. Just when you think that running can't get more expensive, they drop a $260 sweat evaporation headband.
Of course they
Just
do.
when you think running can't get dorkier.
And yeah, it's not helping the stereotypes, that's for sure.
I'm just shocked that it's not a Morton product. Like that feels right up their alley.
Maybe if it squeezed gel onto your face.
Or there's like a gel holder on the side
That'd
of
be
it.
good, yeah.
Just to add to the cool factor.
So, like, I don't know.
So everyone knows what happened in the marathon for the men. Our guys, Connor and Clayton, did amazing.
Yeah.
For sure.
I mean, the fact that Clayton was ranked 50th in the marathon, so there must have been more than 50 people because he wasn't going to be dead last.
That would be correct. Maybe 60?
Yeah. Yeah, he was ranked 50 going in, and he came out 9th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Connor Mance, where was he?
I don't know what he was ranked. I think a bit higher.
No, but where did he
He
finish?
was 8th.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's pretty cool. 2 top 10 finishes. I was thinking about this though. Like right now we're like, oh, we finished in the top 10. Hooray. But how long are we going to be like until we're like, what kind of success are we going to have where we're like,
in the podium,
top 10, like, oh, they didn't make it.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
I think 2028, like it just seems like American distance running is on fire right now.
the track and field was insane.
Yeah, but think about the Grant Fishers running the 10K. They can go to the marathon.
Yeah. Dude, so there was 81 runners
Okay.
and like 10 DNFs.
Do you think Cole Hawker could go long?
I think anyone
I guess
can.
anyone could go
Yeah.
long.
Look at
No, but like successfully.
Look at Safan.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I think we go
But
ahead and say
wait.
track works on the long distance.
Yeah. Hold on real quick.
mean,
Before you,
she
I
works.
forgot, for some reason, no one was really talking about Leonard Career,
Oh yeah, he was out there.
but he almost finished last.
Well,
63rd.
Sadness was Kipchoge.
But he's such a wonderful human.
What did he do, Meg?
He stayed, so he was done when he hit that mile 18 ginormous hill.
Mm-hmm.
But instead of just walking off the course, he waited until every runner ran by him to cheer them on, and then stepped off
really?
the course. Yeah,
What a guy.
Yeah.
he's just a sweetheart.
Yeah, he is.
He's like the Buddha of running.
Yeah,
He really is. Man, and there was some, like, Rory Linkletter did not have a good day either. I mean, it wasn't terrible, but the Canadian
Yeah.
runners, I mean, they're two of the top marathoners in
I think
North
he's
America.
coached by Ryan Hall.
Yeah, he finished like 47th.
Yeah.
I mean, so yeah, on that course for Clayton and Connor to
Incredible.
run a 208,
Yeah,
a 208 is
it's near his PR.
crazy.
Yeah.
On that course.
Yeah.
And it was warm.
And it's warm, yeah.
So think about a flat, ideal day. Like those times are getting.
Well, I thought
crushed.
I thought it was great the way he went about it when he said, "Look, I can handle the heat." I showed that in the Olympic trials
Yeah.
in Orlando. I was hoping for it to be a really
Hotter.
hellish day because I knew that I could do that.
That gives
Yeah.
him the edge.
That's wild to say.
I know. I'm like, you are a different specimen.
Make it miserable on me so that I could win.
I'm like,
Yeah.
give me a 35-degree day and make it totally flat.
Slightly downhill
Yeah.
and some roller skates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And an ambiance.
And he passed,
headband.
I think he passed some people in the last couple
Yeah.
miles.
How about that high five? Did you guys see that? The video of the high five?
I don't think so.
So for a while, Connor was quite a bit ahead of Clayton. And at one point, Clayton caught up to him
Oh, really?
in the pack. And Connor turned around and saw him and just put his hand like this. And Clayton just walked up and slapped it and gave him a
Nice.
high five.
At 30 miles per hour.
Yeah, like while they're running a 4:45 mile casual.
Yeah. Yeah, so that was good. And then of course the women's
We got to talk about our farewell dinner because it was amazing.
oh yeah.
Our final dinner
yeah.
on Saturday night was at a place called Pink
Well, wait,
Mama.
are you going to skip by seeing the Bastards Bakery and whatever the name of that little? Everybody thinks it's the Rainforest Cafe that we're in. Remember? Where?
Oh, the bar?
Yeah.
Oh.
You mean because you were wearing a lemon shirt?
No, because the walls had like jungle theme on them.
Yeah, I didn't think about that.
So, like, if you look at the picture, I got several people in my DMs going, "Did you guys find a Rainforest Cafe?"
Wait, at Pink
in
Mama's?
Paris?"
Are you talking
No,
about? At the little bar.
That rum
The
bar.
little bar.
Okay. Okay.
So that was that was one of the highlights of the trip for me. Was we were at the bar, and when we go to France, I don't know what it is about martinis, but they're not big on them. So, like, I was asking for a martini, and the guy kept asking me what I was talking about. So he was like, "Do you just want to make it?" I was like, "Can I?" He's like, "Yeah, come behind the bar."
Well, to be fair, he asked if you were a bartender, and you said yes. And then he's like, "Oh, come on back."
I mean,
So
and I do 10 bar.
yeah. You didn't say my home bar.
Yeah. And turns out in Paris, I'm quite the bartender. So I made Megan, Feathers, and myself a nice martini. Tasted like home.
it was a fancy Belvedere bottle. What
Yeah, it
was that?
I don't know.
Were you heavy handed on the pour?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he was. Did you see that?
You're going to let me do it? I'm going to do it.
I was like, wow, we're literally getting a Thomas Martini in
So
Paris.
I ended up shaking up the martinis. You guys had your drinks. And then we tried to take some photos. And it was nice. The owner came out and he was like, no, I'll help you take the photo. So he was taking the photos. And then I guess we just made friends with him. And the next thing we had a kamikaze shot.
But it was not a kamikaze shot.
But they made us a round of shots. It wasn't kamikaze?
It tasted like mouthwash.
It was peppermint schnapps.
Yeah.
Was that all it was?
And something else, but yeah.
All right. It was blue though.
Yeah. It tasted like scope.
It really did.
Actually, I thought that was brilliant. You know why? Say that you're dancing, it's late night, romance is going to hit. You buy her, say that, she needs a little help. You buy her one of those shots, you got a scoped out mouth.
Yeah. So I think this is what it was. It's like Phillips liqueur peppermint blue.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We shot it, so there was no like time to even question what you were drinking, but it not my choice.
Yeah.
And then we had to leave to get to Pink Mama.
Yeah, so that was a really, really fun hotel. The ASICS team rented out the
restaurant.
restaurant. The ASICS team rented out the top floor, which also kind of looked like a jungle. That's why I thought maybe that's what you were talking about, because there were plants everywhere.
Yeah, but there wasn't any animals.
No, there was no animals.
Well, except for us.
Yeah. And again, we had our own media table, which I will also call the kids' table.
It definitely was a kids' table.
And they had just had an amazing spread of food and drinks, and so it was lovely.
Robbie mentioned that this was one of the best meals he's ever had.
Honestly, it was. I mean, I feel like just the general vibe and everything.
How
Well,
much
when
of
it-
that?
And I thought the food was great.
Was that prosciutto?
See,
What was
It's
it?
definitely the best prosciutto I ever had.
It was like plates of prosciutto
like
that
melting
melted in your mouth.
They also started out with like a burrata and French baguette, which like there's nothing better.
That's my love language.
Yeah.
And then I was like kind of getting tired again, so I tried to go to that grocery store, convenience store to buy 5 Hour Energy.
You did?
Yeah,
I didn't realize that.
yeah, I left,
Dude, Robbie always disappearing. It's the weirdest thing.
and then I just need to just do things.
Yeah.
No one knows what's happening.
No.
I just need to like walk around, see what's going on. And then so I went. Apparently, convenience stores there, or whatever, they don't have all the like junk at the cash register that we have
Like
in
we
the
do,
U.S.
They're
Yeah.
not trying to capitalize on
Yeah, I mean, they're really like leaving some bread on the table there.
some
Like,
baguettes on the table.
yeah, that's just like you're basically, whatever. Anyways, I was trying to think of a word. I'm too tired still. Catering to people's base level needs. That's what I was trying to say.
And
So
you didn't get one?
No 5 hour energies, no energy shots of any kind.
Should have brought
And,
these Verb bars.
Yeah, no rhino pills. Dude, I see those
Dude, what was the pill
I
that
see this
Lo
package.
was telling us to take?
like a yellow jacket,
Was that what it was called?
maybe.
Hey, Carl, do you remember what Lo was telling us to take? What pill that was?
I see rhino package pills everywhere. In
What is a
Baltimore.
rhino package?
I think that's what Lo was talking about.
It's so you get it's like a gas station version of Viagra.
Oh,
yeah,
geez.
I think that's what he's talking about. Yeah.
Rhino pills?
Yeah.
Okay.
Um,
Anyway.
I'm like, I don't think they work, but maybe they do.
Apparently, Lo thinks they were.
Really? So yeah. So then I just came back and I was like, just give me a shot of espresso, which is dangerous at 8:00 at night, but.
Yeah, and because you ordered one, I was like, oh, that looks good. I had one, which was good because we ended up hanging out for quite a while.
Yeah, because after dinner and stuff, we heard about the speakeasy in the bottom of the basement.
It delivered.
It's called No Entry, and the door says No Entry.
It looks like a freezer door,
Yeah, it looks like you're walking into a freezer box.
and it says on the front of it, no entry, like a sign that you would think that someone put up when they don't want you to go someplace.
Yeah. And then you just walk in and music's
the walls were
bumping.
red velvet.
Red velvet. There was bottled
Yeah.
botanicals all
Yeah.
over the walls.
We found a corner section that we just cozied up in and ordered fancy beverages.
and it was weird. The clientele was,
It got weird.
Yeah.
But it was like perfect weird.
and we're down there, and Coach
Yeah.
Kastor's with us, and we're having cocktails. I don't even know what I drank down there. I know I had a beer at one point.
Yeah, we were ordering off the menu. It was like some mixed
Oh,
beverages.
the purple drink. Remember
Yeah.
and then, that was early. And Coach said, well, they make these strong. And Megan and I were like, what?
Tastes
This
like
tastes like Kool-Aid.
Yeah. Tastes like nothing.
Yeah. But we're down there, and there's a group of people show up next to us. And so it's Kafuzi. I think Robbie's still there at this point.
Not for the story you're about to tell.
yeah.
I was like, I'm just going to go walk around. And so
You and Carl, right?
Yeah.
that was just me by myself. which I ended up walking by the Moulin Rouge or whatever, and there's just like people trying to get me to come into weird places. Like these women like grabbing me. They're like, "Oh, come on." I was like,
This all happened?
"Yeah." I was
I
like,
didn't know about any of
I was
that.
like, "No, I'm good. I'm good." And they're like, "No, just 1 minute, just 1 minute." I was like, "No, I'm good."
Next thing you know, your marriage is in trouble.
Yeah. And then I was like, man, they really care about athletes here because there was so many massage places open late at night.
I like Carl
Clearly
had posted one that
wanted to help
explicitly said massage, and then over the back of it, it said no sex.
Yeah.
And I'm
Which
like,
means-
that means that place definitely
sure.
has the sex.
It was crazy how many of those, like every street had one. And I'm like,
Yeah.
We're in the massage district.
how many people are getting massages of these kinds? Like, that's a lot. They're catering to a lot of customers.
Deep tissue.
So anyway,
Yeah.
back at
our thing.
No entry. So at this point, Robbie and Carl left. This was when we were getting the tab and we were nearly heading out, but we were finishing our beverages. And the two couples next to us they kept looking at all of us, wondering who we were. And one of
Because we
them,
look like we're somebody.
one of them sits down next to Andrew Kastor. And I think they're
Pulls
going to
out his
talk to
phone.
him, but instead he pulls out his phone and shows him a Wikipedia page of Steve Aoki, and then points to
at him.
Kafuzi
He goes, this him?
and asks if it was him.
To which
I
we
mean-
lost it.
I was crying. I was laughing so hard.
And did he play it off as if you were him?
No, he kept being like, no. And we're like, I said he's real famous. And we're like, YouTube.
So then we pulled up his YouTube and we were like, this is the dude. And they seemed less.
less and excited.
You're like, you could have drank for free the rest of the
Yeah.
night.
Yeah. The only problem was they were already like in our space a little too much.
Yeah.
And-
They were
but
a little too cozy.
Kastor was doing, it's funny because I listened back to the interview with Dena Kastor, and she mentioned that Kastor's move is kind of like this little,
Dance.
yeah, like the Running Man kind of,
Yeah.
but not the Running Man. And he did that dance.
Yeah, I've got it on my phone.
I mean,
Sorry, Andrew.
that's what you got to go to in the moment.
Yeah. Hey, he hung though, like considering.
Oh, yeah. We had a great time. I think everyone had a really good time on
Yeah.
our final night. And then we just walked home from there because it was close enough to our hotel.
And this was the best sleep of the entire trip I got that night.
I would agree. It was. And then, yeah, the next morning, unfortunately, we didn't get to watch the women's race because we were on our way to the airport. But again, I did have it on my phone and we got to watch
Yeah.
it.
How did we see the finish? Where were we?
We were at our gate and I had Peacock up.
So
on my
was
phone.
it, had we not left France yet?
No, we were waiting.
Okay.
In Charles de Gaulle.
And that finish, man, dude, I don't know how she does that. Like Stefan Hassan, like I'm like that made Sarah Hall's like run to the finish.
I think it's like those are her track legs. Like the fact that she was in the pack with 3K to go, I was like, this is done for the other women. Like she's so fast that she can just turn another gear on.
But that is like running 26 miles on that course.
Right, I know.
And then she dropped it like she was running the 100-yard dash
But like
at the end.
this on top of her running the
Right.
10K and the
1,000
5K.
And medaling in both.
like just insane.
She's just
Okay.
a different specimen.
This is my question for you, though. So she got bronze in both the 5,000 and 10,000 and gold in the marathon. If you could switch it up any way possible and have the gold exchange for one of the bronzes or something, would you change it, or do you think that?
No chance.
Yeah, I think
the
the
marathon.
marathon's the gold.
And you finish the Olympics, that closes out the Olympics.
Yeah, right. The last event.
Yeah, I wanted to read this one thing from. Did you see this thing that Coach Bennett posted on Threads?
No, I don't read Threads or I tried to get into Threads a little bit and started posting some of our stuff to Threads, and then I was just like, this is starting to feel a lot like Twitter.
I mean, it is. It's like it's basically Twitter like 10 years ago before it really turned into a dumpster fire. It's still a dumpster fire, but it's not as bad. But so he was saying that he posted this after she won. He said that he once saw Safana Hassan finishing workout at the track. He had no idea what workout she was doing, but he's like, I saw her do three 400s. He's like, I could tell she had already done a lot before I arrived because she was tired on the line before she started that first interval. She came down the last straightaway looking all out. She crossed the line and collapsed, full collapse, just lying there exhausted. I thought the workout must be over. I was wrong. She got up. She got back on the line. She flew into that first turn. I was in awe. Where did the strength come from? She was just laid out. Here she comes down the home stretch again, all out, grinding, holding nothing back. Crossed the line and collapsed. This workout's done. She spent. The proverbial well is dry. And here she was like a championship boxer, getting up at the 8 count and making her way back to the line. One more go. I didn't get the splits. I don't know how fast she was running. Never wondered either. Her pace is not what left me in awe. It was her courage and drive and tenacity and willingness to go somewhere that I'm not sure anyone else would have the guts to go. I saw it. Her well was dry, but she just dug deeper until she found another spring, and she drank from it. It was a brutal workout to watch. Beautiful too. Never thought I'd see an effort like that again, and I didn't until today's marathon.
Crazy.
That's insane. You and Coach Bennett have some stuff in common.
Oh yeah.
Besides the mustache, like the way he writes and the stuff. I really love it. The way that he looks at the world.
Yeah.
How he looks at the sport and the way that he can articulate it is like inspirational.
Yeah.
But the
for sure, he's great.
have you ever, like, I know that like when I'm doing repeats and I'm thinking I'm giving it my all, but at the end I'm like standing up and can jog and stuff. Like, have you ever done a workout where you like you finish and you're on the ground?
No, I mean, not to that extent. And he was saying, you know, obviously, I don't think there's a time and a place for it. He's like, I'm not telling you to if you're a coach, make your athletes do this. Yeah. But like that's what she needed to do for that workout. It's like to get to that place. And
have you ever thrown up after a hard workout?
I think I've thrown up before. Yeah. I've definitely thrown up after like 5Ks.
Meg, have you?
Just after a marathon, like at Dena a couple of years ago, I was like nauseous the whole time. And then as soon as I stopped, it was like, you both took photos of it.
Oh yeah.
I don't remember that.
No, I remember that.
Wait, then that would have been the half where you're passing people.
No.
Oh no, that was
it was
full?
the last full I did. Yeah.
Okay. And then, yeah, I don't know that I, like, that's the thing. Like,
yeah,
I just don't.
And she did that on her. That's like something she did on her own,
right,
against herself.
Right.
So you bring that to race day, like, dude, you're gonna win.
Another level.
If it's a head to head, you're gonna win. Like, it's just same thing with Courtney DeWalter. She's the same.
I was impressed the one woman held on as long as she did before kind of falling back a little bit.
Was it?
She did not.
Sharon Lucchetti?
Sharon Lucchetti.
Was it Sharon Lucchetti that she passed? Fourth. Okay. Wait. No. Because she got gold, so it's whoever got silver. Yeah.
Oh, Ticka got. You mean Helen Obiri? Yeah.
Yeah. Like she hung in there.
I mean, they're all like.
Yeah.
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 And then it must have been heartbreaking to just. Yeah. You could almost see when you're watching it where she kind of realizes she's not going to be able to catch her.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then that bump. We didn't even talk about the bump.
Oh yeah.
The bump put her around the world.
That was like a track style, like elbow.
I mean, dude, Hassan had that inside edge, and she knew it too.
Yeah.
Like she closed in on her to try, because she had been blocking her off on other corners before that.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, that's like, if you give that up.
Yeah.
You give it up. And that's another thing. It's like, stop worrying about, just go for the finish. Stop trying to edge them out and do.
You edge them out because you know that they have the momentum.
Yeah, true.
Like that's what Ingebrigtsen was doing. He's like, I got to stop Kerr because he can outkick me right now.
Yeah.
Like, you know that you're tapped.
I mean, I get it. But yeah, that was pretty. I mean, I don't know if is there anything more incredible than that? Like winning the marathon on that course. She set an Olympic record, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
2:22.
Yeah. And then also taking bronze in two of the most competitive events in the Olympics.
Yeah. It's crazy.
I mean, she's definitely right now the top in the world, right? Mm-hmm. And she pretty much did that in London too. Like, came from behind and just crushed
It's also
everybody.
so funny to hear her talk about how she feels before these races. Like, and you saw it on her face at the marathon start line. It looked like she was going to cry.
Was she the one? Who was the one that said that she just has like we saw at Adidas, they were like, I have some tea and.
No, that wasn't her.
Yeah.
What they ate before, you're saying?
Yeah.
No, I don't know that she's talked much about her nutrition, but she's talked about how Like she questions what she's doing before every race and like has basically like a mini mental breakdown like before the start of every race.
Really?
Which like you think these people that perform at that level must have some
mental strength.
Yeah, and she does.
Right,
It's just at the beginning. I think it's also interesting to hear they also share the same thoughts as like everyday runners.
Well, it's the same thing. Not that I'm comparing myself to the women's marathon champion, but like when we show up for a group run, sometimes I'm like, I don't know, is anybody going to show up?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and I think we had to talk about the women's side, the U.S. women's, because Dakota Lindworm.
Oh yeah,
had
12th.
Yeah, I mean that's a real nice day.
Yeah.
And at one point she was leading, and I mean she just looked so great out there, and it was fun to watch her race for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And Emily Sisson.
Yep, I think she was 27th, 29th, something like that. I don't think she had the day that she was hoping for, but
Obviously.
honestly, like that's the fact that she gutted it out and finished that well is pretty amazing.
Okay, and then we were talking a bit about, could have we used an alternate?
Yeah. They flew in Jess, the 4th place finisher of the trials, and it seemed like Fiona was maybe contemplating stepping out, but she decided to toe the line.
And what was your initial thought, and how has that changed?
Well, I think watching the start and seeing her not even in the group, in the pack, it was kind of like you must have known that you weren't going to even be close to racing. But she did a whole post on Instagram explaining that she still had this sliver of hope and that she thought she was going to be able to perform. So, I mean, can you really blame her?
The opportunity to run in the Olympics.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I get it. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm just saying, like, it would be I don't know anything that would be like maybe tougher than be like you're hoping maybe for a miracle or something.
Right. And you can't get mad at her for having that hope.
No, I think it's more about the also state of probably running contracts and pay.
Yes,
And it's
yeah.
like, I don't know how much the bonus is for running the Olympics. I imagine it's pretty decent.
Yeah.
So it's like, are you going to turn down how much? $10,000, $20,000? I don't know.
It's also the difference of being called an Olympian and an Olympic qualifier.
So I'm absolutely not judging. But at the same time, it is tough because you're like, well, you want the best chance for your country.
Yeah.
Right.
And if you know you're injured,
But here's the thing. Also, if you know that you want the best for your country and you're like, the person who's the 4th place alternate, do I think that they could podium? Do I think they could
But look at the Kenyan team and the Ethiopian team had replacements for injured people, and that would have changed the podium for the men.
that's true.
But that was deep. They have a deeper pool of talent.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, but it's just, it's not apples to apples in that sense, but.
Yeah. And I know it's a big topic of discussion, but then I was like looking back at Dena Kastor's Wikipedia. I forget why, but I was like, I forgot, just trying to remember everything she did, I think. And I forgot that she, or if I even knew, dropped out at
Beijing.
mile 3 of Beijing. And we have a high respect for her. So I think it'll all work out in the end.
And Des did a similar thing. So, and look at her. We all love and support her. So,
I mean, was there, no offense to American women, and maybe it's the same even with Molly, was there an expectation that we were going to podium with that field?
I think Emily Sisson, there was hope.
just with her time.
Yeah, she's so strong
That's true.
that there's a possibility. I would have lost money on this one. I thought Emily Sisson had a shot to at least be top 10.
Yeah. Yeah.
I will say though, there's something about Dakota's mental confidence that gives her an edge over like almost anyone all the time. Like she just truly believes that she's going to, like she belongs there and is going to do something special. And that's,
I don't think we're done with her.
No.
Like Olympics, I wouldn't be surprised if she's back for
for sure.
for LA.
And that's not to demean them at all. Obviously, like you're saying, like top 10 for sure. There's no question that that's a possibility. I just meant like if you're looking at Hassan Obiri and Luketti and Asifa, I mean, that's an insane 4 right
for
there.
sure.
Yeah. I mean, who would have picked Molly Seidel in Japan?
True. But yeah, any day. Yeah. I mean, that is true. You never know.
That was
any
nuts.
given day.
Yeah.
All right, final check-in. Maybe you're not going to make the Olympics. I mean, probably most of us won't. I know I won't be. But I was totally inspired. And if it makes you want to run a little harder or kick a little more in your final push at a race, or maybe just your strides after a run or a track workout, just pretend you're an Olympian. Pretend you're going for that goal. Pretend you're running against Ingebrigtsen or Shaqiri. Anything. Just kick that extra little bit and feel that rush of adrenaline and finish strong.
Any given Sunday.
Do we have time to do a quick...
Yeah, I just got the spec sheet, so let's chat about it real
Oh, you
fast.
did get it?
Yeah.
All right, because I asked for it this morning.
Yeah, it's in
All
my
right,
inbox.
I was going to say we're going to have to do this more like a first impression, but now that you have the spec sheet, we can go over it. So we just got in a shoe that we're kind of excited about because I thought it was dead, but it's not. And
Well, it's also new, technically. The Glide Ride Max has never existed.
Well, the Glide Ride did.
Yeah.
Now it's called Glide Ride Max, but it's basically the successor to the Glide Ride family, but it's more commercially viable than the previous models, I think is what they're saying. So Meg, we're talking about Flight Foam Blast Max. Does the spec sheet tell you anything about it?
It says, one of our most energetic midsole foams is complemented with cloud-like softness and a responsive energy return in each step. They also have a new hybrid ASICS grip, which is a combination of ASICS grip and AHAR Plus in the right places to improve grip and softness without compromising abrasion resistance. I will say it feels quite soft. It also comes with a plate.
Yeah, it does have a plate in it. Now, it's not a carbon plate, but I thought what was interesting about it when you say it's soft, this is the good soft. Like it feels soft, but it doesn't feel dead.
Yeah, and I'm wondering if that's help from the plate as well.
It has to be. You don't really feel the plate. Did you feel the plate when you were running?
Not necessarily. I will say I feel like, so I've only done a couple runs in the shoe, but my initial thought was it reminded me quite a bit of the Mizuno Neo Vista.
I would agree. I think it's a little more stable and a little less, not quite as soft.
Yeah, I think you're probably right there. Also, the upper is much more substantial. The Neo Vista has like this very thin, stretchy upper, and
Like
this
a
one,
sock knit.
this one feels like a daily trainer upper. Like it's supportive. It's got a bunch of padding through the tongue and collar, and it looks aesthetically, it looks like the Nimbus 25.
Yeah, I have to say, just the couple runs I've had in it, this is definitely a shoe that I was like, not like that excited about, but now that I've gotten a couple runs and I'm like, this is really nice.
Yeah.
Like this one's really good. Like,
I think a lot of people will like it. Like I think it's accommodating for.
where do you think it fits in between the Nova Blast and the Super Blast? Because it doesn't feel that heavy. Did it have the weight on the sheet?
For the men's, I'm assuming this is size 9. It's 287 grams.
That's light, isn't it?
So it's 44 millimeters in the heel, 38 millimeters in the forefoot for a 6 millimeter drop.
10.1 ounces.
All right, yeah.
I think this is the competitor to the Neo Vista, to the SC Trainer. It's the person who wants a daily trainer with a plate.
But I also think it's like cushiony enough to be kind of like a recovery shoe. As a matter of fact, it's a little firmer than, say, the New Balance Ballast, but gives you that nice, cushy, bouncy feel underfoot. I was kind of curious what the makeup of the Flight Foam Blast Max is, the foam, just because it does have a spongy feel, and I'm like, is it going to die as we get more miles on it, or is it going to stay kind of resilient?
Yeah, I don't know.
Overall, the fit is as good as it gets. The cushioning I really like for like the miles I've been doing. Like I've been running a little bit shorter mileage just because of the hip thing, but the shoe feels so smooth and cushy underneath the foot, and it doesn't feel that heavy on the foot.
Yeah. It's funny because someone said that this would replace the Super Blast for most of us because we were going to like it more. And
I don't think it does.
Would
it's
say
not.
something that crazy.
It's $170 and it'll be available September 1st.
So you didn't say it, like, because I look at my two favorite daily trainers from ASICS are the Nova Blast and the Super Blast.
Mm-hmm.
And this one kind of is interesting because it does have the plate in the middle, but it has that smooth ride like those have. If you had to pick between, like, how would you rank them?
Well, so Super Blast, I'd be like ranking my favorite to least favorite, or like what I'd use
Or
them for.
least favorite to first favorite?
I don't know. It's tough. I haven't put the Nova Blast on in a while, but I love that shoe. So I mean, Super Blast is my favorite, and then I think I'd go Nova Blast and then Glide Ride Max.
Oh, really? See, I think this might step me above the Nova Blast, the current Nova Blast. But I also know, like, we have enough inside information that I know some stuff coming down the pipeline. I think there's going to be a bigger difference between these shoes, between the Nova Blast, the Super Blast, and this shoe. Where right now they're somewhat kind of in similar spaces, where I think next year we're going to see like a big break in like the difference in the feel and the weight and stuff like that of the shoes.
Also, sorry, I got the date wrong for when it's on sale. It's on sale Thursday, September 17th, not the 1st.
Okay. And it comes off embargo the 15th, this will come out on the 16th.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. Good deal.
All right.
Awesome.
We've talked way too much today.
Yeah.
Thanks everyone if you're still here.
Yeah. I don't think we need to take a photo either because we can use one of the ones from Paris.
Perfect.
Yeah. Everything is settled. Anything else we need to talk about?
Hi, Ma. My mom's here somewhere. We were going to have her come in.
Wandering around. We were like, she should pop in, but she didn't get the memo.
Slam some Mountain Dew.
All right. Bye.